Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. I know my voice sounds a little crappy. I do have the flu right now, but I did say that I was going to come out with these videos, excuse me, because there's only 4 chapters left of I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, so let's get right into these. In today's video, we're going to be going into chapter 88, so let's get right into this. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. You have been warned. Chapter 88. I love it, I say, and I'm not lying the way I did when I turned 6 and opened my Rugrats pajamas. I really do love it. I've had my backpack for 3 years, and it's getting pretty beat up looking. I've complained about it for months, but haven't been able to find a decent replacement. But Miranda did. She found a beautiful black Toomey backpack with gold details. It's perfect. The only thing that beats Miranda's presents are her cards. I pull hers out to read it. Her handwriting is meticulous. Her phrases are kind and simple. She always squeezes in a couple of well-placed jokes, and she always signs her cards to me as Alec Baldwin. I don't even remember where this joke came from anymore, but it still makes me laugh every time. Should we go into Disneyland first, or should we get dinner? Miranda asks. It's my 26th birthday. Even though Grandpa no longer works at Disney because he worked there for 15 years, he gets an honorary lifetime supply of park sign-in passes and employee discounts. He used his discount to get me 40% off the courtyard view room we're staying in at the Grand Californian Hotel. Thanks, Grandpa. Let's go into Disneyland. Of course I choose Disneyland, and it's not just because it's Disneyland. If there's ever a choice between dinner and another thing, I'll choose the other thing. And I'm a few years into my eating disorder recovery, but the road is still bumpy. Some weeks I don't purge, some weeks I do. The diagnostic criteria for bulimia stipulate that there must be a binging and purging sequence at least once a week for 3 months. So even though I exceed the weekly criteria, sometimes the purging is inconsistent enough that according to Jeff, I'm no longer considered a bulimic. I'm just a person who sometimes exhibits bulimic behavior, which still doesn't sound great to me. I'm glad, at least, that when I do have a slip, that slip no longer spirals into a slide, though that's huge progress, I know, but I keep telling Jeff that I don't want to be a person who sometimes exhibits bulimic behavior. I want to be better, sturdier, more confident in my recovery. I want to feel like I've outgrown eating disorders and they're a thing of my past, but so far, the time hasn't come. Food, the lack of it, the want of it, the lust for it, the fear of it, still takes up so much of my energy. Any mention of a meal, any reminder of one, still causes a rush of anxiety throughout my entire body. That's why if there's a choice between dinner and another thing, I always choose the other thing. I want to postpone the chaos of a meal for as long as possible. I grab my choppy auburn wig and sunglasses from the nightstand. I've started using this disguise when I go places to avoid getting recognized. Miranda and I walk to Disneyland and hop on Space Mountain, then on the Matterhorn since it's close. Even though neither of us like it very much, we walk to the Partner Theme Park California Adventure. We ride the Guardians of Galaxy ride and walk through the Animation Academy building where we learn to draw Simba. We're folding up our drawings when the inevitable happens. My stomach growls. We both laugh and agree to get dinner. Miranda knows about all of my food issues. She's known for a while, since early on in my recovery when it was suggested that I tell a few trusted friends. Since then, Miranda's been very supportive. I appreciate her support, but it's also difficult at times. Before Miranda knew about this stuff, when bulimia was my secret, I could get through the ups and downs on my own. I was the only person I had to be accountable to, the only person I would disappoint. But now that she's in on the secret, I can tell she's hyper aware of my eating tendencies. She's constantly observing. I'm not just disappointing myself with the slips, but her too. Where do you want to go? Miranda asks. Wherever there isn't a line. I just want to get the eating over with so I can brace myself for the onslaught of emotions that will my way through their intensity until they pass and I haven't purged. Hopefully we walk to downtown Disney, the shopping district attached to the theme parks, and head for a Tortilla Joe's since they usually have the shortest line. We're seated in a corner booth and we order right away. Chips and guacamole for the table. Miranda gets some tacos. I get salmon with salad. I always think if I order the healthy thing, I have a better chance of not throwing it up after. Less shame in the salmon than in a hamburger, I suppose. Or I would suppose if it worked every time, but it doesn't. I'm so hungry by this point that I can't stop myself with the chips and guacamole. I tell myself just 1, just 2, just 4, just 6, but I don't stop at just 1 or 2 or 4 or 6. I keep going. I think I'm selling casualness despite what's going on in my mind. It's so annoying. Eating disorder brain. Anytime I'm having a conversation with someone over a meal, there's another conversation happening internally. Judgments and criticisms and self-loathing that press on me with such severity. They're a brutal distraction. I can never be present with whoever I'm with. My focus is always more on the food than the person. I'm told that this narrative is the way of thinking. This eating disorder brain will lessen with time. I guess we'll see. The main courses come. I can tell by the way Miranda's watching me that she knows I'm anxious. I remind myself to chew slowly, look calm, act normal. Then I excuse myself and say I have to pee. I go to the bathroom to check under the stalls to make sure they're all empty. I started doing this after a Disneyland trip 3 years ago when I got off a Jungle Cruise and beeline for the Adventureland restroom to throw up my clam chowder. I was right in the middle of purging when a little hand poked out from underneath the next stall with me with her Mickey and Friends autograph book asking me to sign it. I couldn't because I'm right-handed, and since I've just purged, regurgitated bits of clam chowder were trickling down my arm. If those bits got on her autograph booklet, little Bailey would have forever been changed. Luckily, this time, the stalls are all empty. I have to be quick so no one catches me. I hurry up into the biggest stall. I shove my fingers down my throat and purge repeatedly until nothing comes up anymore. I wipe the puke off my arm with toilet paper. I hate the toilet paper on Disney property because it's very thin, so it crumples up around the vomit every time I have to scrub the little puke toilet paper dingleberries off my arm with more than thin toilet paper, and then there are more puke toilet paper dingleberries, and then there's more scrubbing, and so on. I'm bent over the toilet bowl when I remember something Jeff told me. You don't want to be 45 at the office Christmas party with 3 kids and a mortgage sneaking into a bathroom to puke up the artichoke dip, he said. Sure, I'm not 45 and I don't even like artichoke dip, but it's time. But it is my 26th birthday. I am getting older. I think of Mom. I don't want to become her. I don't want to live off of chewy granola bars and steamed vegetables. I don't want to spend my life restricting and dog-earing Woman's World fad diet pages. Mom didn't get better, but I will. That is the end of chapter 88. I will see you guys in the next video. Excuse me, and I'm sorry, my dog was biting my elbow a lot during that, so yeah. But I'll see you in the next video.